90 Day Fiancé Season 8 aired a happy ending for several couples, and Julia Trubkina and Brandon Gibbs were one of them. But there is a lot to update on. The Russian and American couple experienced issues throughout the season, largely due to Brandon's overprotective parents and apparent immaturity. Parents Betty and Ron Gibbs made Julia's life in America a difficult transition. Fortunately, the older couple warmed up to her as the season progressed. Meanwhile, Brandon's immature streak caused tension for the couple, though they pulled together to marry in the season's penultimate episode. Brandon and Julia have both been criticized by viewers in their own ways during and after the season. Fortunately, Julia and Brandon's wedding was heartwarming, as Brandon said his vows in Russian and Julia delivered hers in English. The sweet and simple affair appeared to be genuine, and many fans have taken an interest in the couple's journey. The couple is often active in the 90 Day Fiancé franchise. They went on to appear in 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Season 6, but there are more stints to report on. 90 Day Fiancé's Julia and Brandon were working on things post-production after Season 8. The couple shared many images on both of their Instagram accounts as soon as their wedding was televised, while fellow Season 8 couple Yara Zaya and Jovi Dufresne share solo shots quite often. Brandon and Julia have posted many sweet photos together to their growing follower bases. The couple appeared to be very much in love, and they were happy to express it to their fans during Happily Ever After, Season 7. They even shared a fur baby they refer to as their son, as the newlyweds call German Shepherd dog Simba their furry offspring. The beloved dog was gifted to Julia by Brandon's parents. Despite initially making Julia's life in America a nightmare, Betty and Ron appear to get along better with their daughter-in-law in real life. Brandon and Julia waited months to confirm their successful marriage. Julia and Brandon also shared their honeymoon with their followers. Brandon and Julia took to sunny Miami to celebrate their nuptials. The couple may have had to rush their wedding due to COVID-19, but they enjoyed their time in Florida. Julia's made it clear in the past that she's only in the United States to be with Brandon. The dancer left behind a great life and family in Russia before the Ukrainian-Russian war, but she appears to be enjoying her new life alongside Brandon. When 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, fans watched Brandon and Julia in Season 6. They had just moved off of Brandon's parents' farm and into their own apartment in Richmond, Virginia. However, when they gave fans an update on 90 Day Diaries, the pair had plans to move to Florida and get jobs with someone they met on vacation. When they told Ron and Betty, it brought Betty to tears and she stormed off. But Brandon and Julia changed their minds at the last minute. Instead, Brandon and Julia purchased their first home together in November 2022 in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and have lived in it ever since. Brandon seems to still be doing pest control, while Julia has tried many jobs. Julia flaunted her bodybuilding past at one point, wanted to work as a go-go dancer in a non-nude adult club, and she's also tried her hand at being a dog trainer. In Happily Ever After, Julia famously pursued a job as a trainer in a gym. She wore high heels and gave a go-go dance performance for her interview, shocking her potential boss. 90 Day Fiancé Season 8 presented many villains, but Julia pulled away as a fan-favorite franchise figure that only gained more notoriety from Happily Ever After, Season 6. Though viewers criticized Brandon for his apparent immaturity, the couple has been popular among fans. Their continued journey on 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After satisfied viewers' curiosity, but that was the only Happily Ever After season they appeared on. Brandon and Julia and Ron and Betty have all been returning cast members on the Pillow Talk spin-off as well. Many are eager to see what career path Julia will follow. The fitness enthusiast has been sharing a look at her former bodybuilding competitions on Instagram. Julia might continue to pursue fitness or get back into dancing. Meanwhile, fans are hoping to see Brandon mature from his mama's boy persona and provide Julia with a life away from his meddling parents. Fortunately for Brandon and Julia, the couple has a place in the extended 90 Day Fiancé franchise. 90 Day, The Last Resort is the newest spin-off in the 90DF franchise, and Season 1 ended airing in late October 2023. The therapy-based show featuring wayward alumni couples was received well by fans. Season 2 was rumored to have been filmed in April 2024, so fans can likely expect a fall or winter premiere date for the show. At this point, it's unclear what issues Brandon and Julia have to unpack on the show, as the couple still be happily together today. It could have to do with Julia's continued jealousy, Brandon's helicopter parents, the couple's misalignment on wanting children, or Brandon's disdain for Julia's desire to be a go-go dancer again. In any case, the pair joined fellow alums Sophie Sierra and Rob Warren, Ariella Weinberg and Biniam Scheiber, and Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo in the 90 Day Fiancé spin-off. Julia was always devoted to her pooch, Simba. As previously mentioned, when she lost her dog, it was totally heartbreaking. The photo above says a million words. Simba's eyes have a faraway look, the dog is close to passing away. Julia cradles him in her arms, showing the kind of love that really rings true. Julia wrote about the canine's passing in her caption. The fact that her pet is dying is shredding her emotionally. She shows her big heart by being there for Simba, just as she's always been. Julia isn't always the tough cookie shown on screen, in fact, she has a very tender side, and the love for Simba definitely showcases a different facet of her complex personality. Betty was a controversial on-screen presence in the early days of her 90DF stint. She seemed like yet another 90DF monster-in-law, committed to destroying her son's peace of mind, one unreasonable act at a time. He wanted to sleep with Julia before their wedding. Betty made the young lovers miserable by forcing them to sleep in separate bedrooms. It was truly sad to watch the two youthful and vibrant 90DF stars pine for each other from separate bedrooms. Above, via a screen grab from Brandon's Instagram, the family gathers to honor Betty on her birthday, June 1st. It wasn't just this kind of interference that made her annoying, it was her seeming insistence that Julia do some tough and dirty chores at the farm. While Julia's an animal lover, she didn't seem to enjoy all the chores, and in fact, played the victim on screen. Later, she admitted that no one forced her to do anything. She chose to do the chores. 90 Day Fiancé's Julia could have said no,